Hello everybody, and welcome to the vlog sort of compilation edit video thing that I'm throwing together for the trip that I just got back from for Japan. So this is probably going to be a multi-day project. It probably won't come out until a couple weeks after the trip itself. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy all the photos, the videos, the cool stuff, and I hope you all also enjoy the inevitable face reveal that's coming out of this. So yeah. Anyway, we'll stop talking now and let's just get right into it. Hello everyone. Yeah, welcome to what is going to be one of the first segments of the sort of vlog video I'm going to put together. And so for those of you that might be wondering where all the magic happens, this is it. This is where the streaming and everything takes place. And yeah, and more importantly, hello everyone. This is the face behind the camera. Sorry if it's mildly disappointing. That wasn't exactly what you were after, but this is me. So yes, over the next couple of days, as I travel through Japan and everything, I'm going to be recording some videos, taking some pictures, and sort of running you all through everything that happens with the trip. So this is my first time doing something like this, so I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let's get into it. So there'll be a little bit of a time skip here. I recorded this video at my where I live, and then I proceeded to get on some public transport. I met up with a part of the group that I was going with, and then I went down to where we were catching the plane, which is actually near where one of my friends lives. And so yeah, the next recording is after I've gotten down there and I've set up and everybody's all hanging out and everything. Hey everyone, so we're all getting set up and ready to go. Hanging out, doing some stuff, getting everything ready to head off to the airport for our first flight. We're doing one domestic flight, and then we're flying out to Japan. I decided it would be a better idea if I didn't sleep. So I'm riding a bit rough, but yeah. Looking forward to it all. Anyway. Hasn't fully dawned on me yet. I'm assuming like once I get on the flight to Japan, it'll like fully dawn on me like that I'm actually going now. But yeah, it's just wild. It's so cool. This is awesome. I'm just thinking like I probably should be recording these like this, shouldn't I? Can you get there we go, I can get like a bit of light on my face. Hey guys. Yeah, just realizing I probably should be recording these in like this sort of aspect ratio. I don't know. Might have to just, yeah, I think I'm going to try to record the rest of them sideways. But yeah. See you for the next bit. So at this stage, it was pretty much just a lot of waiting around and hanging out at my friend's place. Once we got set up in the airport and everything, we decided to take a group photo together. And so here's that photo here. It's not the most pleasant photo of me. I don't know how I managed to get cut in half in this one, but I'm using it because it's funny. So this is the group I went to Japan with. From left to right, it's Andre, Jacinda, Morgan, me, Emily, Caleb, Kaylin, Ryan, Braden, and Sam, and then Lucky's the one that's doing the peace signs down on the bottom of the photo. So yeah, that's all the group, so whenever you hear me talking about somebody in particular, that's what I'm talking about. I've got a few more videos that I took before we actually got into Japan, which I'll share with y'all, but yeah. So this is the group I went with, these are my friends, and yeah, I hope you get a chance to come along with us and hang out for a bit. Alright, so we just got to the gate, food security, all that fun and excitement, all done. And now we're just waiting. Taking our time, waiting for the flight. Yeah. Hello everybody. So we just landed at our first layover. We're just here for a little bit before we get on the plane that's going to take us out to Tokyo. Gonna go for a wander here in a bit, but people are getting food and stuff. But yeah, so we are at the airport, and our next step is the international airport, I think. So we're at. See y'all soon. So effectively the way the flights ended up working out was there was about roughly like a 2-3 hour flight between our first airport and our layover airport, both of which were in Australia. So we left at roughly like 6 in the morning, and then we would have gotten to where we were going at roughly 9 or 10. And then very quickly after that, we got on the flight for Tokyo. But that flight, so the Tokyo flight, which you're seeing photos of now, took us roughly 6-ish hours. And it was actually a pretty pleasant flight. They gave us the little TVs and everything, so we're messing around with those and having fun. So yeah, the flight over there was fairly pleasant. I've got a story to tell you guys about the flight back, but yep, flight over there was good. And yeah, so everything from here on out is pretty much that first little brief night in Tokyo. Hello everybody. Bit of a time jump here. So I am now in my hotel in Japan. I am currently in Tokyo. And yeah, everything went pretty smoothly. There was a bit of a hiccup in customs when it came to my a bit of my medication, which resulted in that medication unfortunately not being able to come with me. But I might be able to work that out, not sure. But yes, so I pretty much just landed from our flight, hopped onto, we had like a bit of a layover. So we hopped onto our second flight. We were on that for about 6 hours, and then we landed here, got a couple trains across, and we booked into our hotel. I'm currently staying in a place by myself, so it's pretty self-contained little unit. And then I went over and I got some dinner and snackage from a combini, so yeah, so far so good, save for the one little hiccup at customs, and yeah, I'll be doing another one of these probably at least once a day. So yeah, see y'all soon. So yes, that was the sort of the day 0 of our vacation to Japan in 2025. So yeah, that little bit I mentioned about customs in that first video in my hotel room, it's actually more significant than I made it sound. So, I'm not getting into the nitty-gritty of like what I take, but it's ADHD medication. So by its very nature, just by virtue of being ADHD meds, they're 9 times out of 10 going to be some form of like psychostimulant. So before the trip, I did research into whether or not I could bring it into the country. And I followed their rules to a letter, got all the things I needed, and yet when I hit customs, they still took it away from me. I was thoroughly confused at the time. But yeah, so it was another little addition of like significance for me, because this trip was not only the first time I've been overseas in a decade, but this trip also ended up being the longest time I had spent unmedicated in almost 20 years, like in about 16 years, because I've been on my medication since I was about like 7. And it was like, I had never gone longer than a week without it, and for this trip I pretty much went 2 weeks straight without my meds, so it was a very unique experience in many regards, but yeah, but in any case, from here on out, it's all the stuff we went off and did in Tokyo, just going, hanging out, doing a lot of cool shit, so yeah, let's get into the rest of it. Hello everyone. So we are currently getting set up and ready to go for our first day of wanderings around Japan. So today is just going to be shopping, grabbing some souvenirs, grabbing some clothing, all that fun and excitement, and yeah. So I'll take some photos and everything along the way, which I'll throw into the video that I'm sure I'll inevitably be recording for this. That's all the friends over there. Yeah. Anyway, see you all soon. So yeah, as I said in that first little intro video thing I took while I was we were all getting ready to go. So that was actually taken outside of the hotel that everybody else was staying in. I do have some videos from later days about what my hotel looked like. It was actually very, very nice. You can look it up. It's the Appa Hotel Roppongi. Well, Roppongi 6, I suppose. It was a very, very nice hotel, and it was interesting seeing how hotels are done in Tokyo. But yeah, so the photos you've been seeing while I've been talking here has just been some of the stuff that I saw both on the way before I took that video, and as well as when we were sort of like making our way gradually towards the place we were going to go. And we actually ended up finding a park, which I thought was very, very cool, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I took there. So yeah, here's some of that.
I just don't like the trees and stuff.
I think it's very relaxing to go to a garden after this day.
Andrea, stay away from the freaking shore.
I would appear to have found ducks. There are ducks. It's duck time. So we heard there was a flower garden. Hey Sam, do you see many flowers in this garden? There's a couple over there. Yeah, there's a few over there, but there's a couple there, and a couple over there, but yeah. So, I've been told that right there is the Imperial Palace. I'm standing on right now is the remains of one of the outer walls and the moat. This used to be like a village, and that is the Imperial Palace right over there. Holy shit.
That's cool.
So yes, anyway, after we left that park, which I still find it wild that it turned out we were like within eye shot of the Imperial Palace that whole time. And that we were like actively walking around a piece of ancient history and none of us even fucking realized. Until we actually like got up to the sign at the end of the park that said, oh yeah, this, by the way, this used to be a defensive battlement. So yes, after that we ended up moving along to, I believe it was Ginza, which is where we were taking care of a bunch of our, getting snacks, getting some souvenirs, as well as we ended up finding a sushi place, which I'll be throwing some photos here, and yeah, we just kind of wandered along, had a look at Ginza. There was some cool art exhibitions, which I've probably shown as well, and a really weird machine that dispenses juice for you. But yes, so this leg of the journey was a bit less, I guess, photogenic, because it was just sort of like some cityscapes, but I still got some pretty good photos out of it. And after this was Akihabara, Electric Town, also sort of commonly known as the anime district. So yeah, we're gonna get into some of the videos I took there. So we are currently walking around Akihabara. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
So yeah, we're currently walking around Akihabara, doing all the Akihabara things. You can definitely tell that I watch anime. But yeah, so doing a bit of this. Lost money to games of chance. I've got the Akihabara experience.
You haven't been to Japan unless you've gambled on the actual full machine game. I don't know what it's called.
Pachinko?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess at some point I'm gonna have to do some Pachinko as well. Anyway, I'm gonna keep walking and hanging out with these two, so I'll see y'all later. So at this point, I had hung out with everybody for a bit, but part of the group had stayed behind because one of the things we did before we went to Akihabara was actually doing like skiing and snowboard gear shopping. So some of the group had stayed behind, some of us went. I was part of the group that went. So we kind of did, well, I got sort of my full experience out of Akihabara because I wasn't as big on the anime at this point in the trip. You'll see how that changed. So yeah, so I wasn't as big on the anime side of things. So everyone else was sort of there for that. But I had my fun. And at this point, Tokyo is a very foot traffic focused city. Like you don't really, when you're visiting there, like obviously there's trains and everything, but you get a train to like a general area and then it's a lot of walking. It's a lot of walking. So I was tired, my legs were hurting, and I didn't really have the sort of like push through it effect that I'm usually able to get when I'm medicated. So at this point I decided to go home early, but that wasn't the end of the day. I had a little bit more to say, I suppose, and yeah, here's that. Hey everyone, so I'm back in my hotel, just sort of chilling out after going to I guess you could call it the anime district, I don't remember the name like me. But I got tired early, so I decided to head back to my apartment and watch some anime. And I think I get it. I think I've started to get it now. I never really got the whole anime thing before, but I think I understand. I'm just sat here watching anime, understanding barely anything being said because there's no subtitles and I don't speak Japanese, but I'm into it. I think I get it now. It's amazing. And so now we are on to day 2. So this one was a bit of a variety pack of things. We kind of experienced both the past and the present of Japan's sort of culture on this day. So we started off with a visit to some of the shrines that were nearby the hotels we were all staying at. So I can't remember the specific names of any of them except for one, which we visited towards the end of the day. And that was Meiji Jingo. But yes, so yeah, here's some of the photos that I took of the first shrine, and I think the second shrine we went to, which both of them were just absolutely gorgeous. There's an effect, like, the photos never do it justice, obviously, but one of the big things that I noticed for pretty much every shrine that I went to while we were there was this effect of, like, sound dampening. Like, the moment you would step into one of these shrines, I don't know if it was where they were placed, like, if they were, like, placed specifically because that was sort of like a gap in the sound, or if it's just an expectation that loud noises need to stay away, or if it's just, you know, the magic of Japan. But the moment you step into one of these shrines, it's as if the entire city that has more population than the entirety of the country that I live in just proceeds to no longer exist. It's fascinating. The photos don't do the experience justice, and if you ever go to Japan, you definitely need to go to these shrines. But yeah, after this was a very cool experience where we went to Takeshita Street, which is apparently it's a pretty common thing in some animes that actually take place in Tokyo to have this be there. But yeah, it was so cool. I'll show you some of the videos and photos here. Hello everyone. So today we are doing a variety pack of things, but at the moment we are in Takeshita Street. And I have a katana sword. Umbrella thing. Say hi, Caleb.
Afternoon.
So yeah, we're wandering around, grabbing some nice food, grabbing some souvenirs. It's a really fun time. Oh, I'm gonna get back to it. See y'all later. We also ended up going to an okonomiyaki place, and my god, it was beautiful. I loved it so much. One of my most favorite meals I had while we were over there. So good. So after we ended up going for Okonomiyaki, me and a small group of other people who were more interested in doing it, we ended up going to Meiji Jingu, which is, I believe, the largest shrine in Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken. At least in, like, the central area of Tokyo. We ended up, towards the end of the trip, we ended up going to a shrine that was, like, way bigger. Maybe Meiji Jingu, in terms of, like, the area that is considered Meiji Jingu, is bigger, but the actual used space was mostly forest. It's not a bad thing at all. It was absolutely gorgeous. But yes, so Meiji Jingu was the next big step on the trip, and it was bloody wonderful. So, from here we went on to the last leg of the journey, which was Shibuya Parko. So, Shibuya Parko is basically, it's a massive mall in, well, Shibuya. And it was so cool. They had like a little mini art exhibit from one, I think it was one artist that had like a bunch of these art pieces done up, and it was amazing. And then there was like the Capcom, Nintendo, Pokemon Center, sort of like, you know, Japanese gaming company nerd focused area. That was really cool. Like, I ended up getting a couple souvenirs from there, and after that there was a lovely rooftop bar that me and a couple of my friends ended up. We just grabbed a drink and sat and looked at the sunset and everything. And after that was Yakitori. So I don't have any videos from this part of the night. But so I'm just gonna put it into perspective. We are all a bunch of 20-ish-year-old Australians, and we're in a country where you can go to a restaurant that serves you chicken on a stick and large mega pints of various types of alcoholic beverages for $3.80. So long story short, we got dumb. A healthy amount of dumb. No one hurt themselves. A couple people were vomiting the next day, but nobody seriously hurt themselves. And then after that, we went to karaoke. It was just a perfect storm of just like stereotypical, you know, college-age students going overseas, and everything was just so cheap that you could justify just about anything. It was so dumb. I loved it. But yes, that brought this day to an end, and some of us had an easier time waking up the next day than others, but yes, this brings day 2 to a close, and yeah, it was so much fun. So much fun. Hello everyone. Back in my hotel after a very long day. Long but fun. Very, very much fun. So today we did a bit of shrine traveling. You probably already saw the photos and some of the videos that I took while I was out. So yes, all of that. And then we went to Shibuya Parko. Traveled around there. Went to the Pokemon and Nintendo shop. I got myself a little Sobble plushie, because Sobble, I recently got a Switch, and the first Pokemon game that I played was Pokemon Shield after getting the Twitch. The Twitch? Switch. Although Twitch is going to be coming up soon. But yes, after I got the Switch. And Sobble was the starter that I chose, so I decided to get a little Sobble key ring. I'll take a photo of it at some point once I attach it to the rest of my keys. And I also got a shirt with Link on it. I believe it was it was Skyward Sword, or it was the Twilight Princess Link. But that's just because I recently got into the Legend of Zelda series. I've played both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm hoping to be able to also play Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, because I believe those are also available on the Switch. But yes, in any case, I will see you guys for the next little update that I've got for you. And yeah, for now, I'm just gonna eat some caramel corn, which I got from the local shop, and some spicy chips over there as well. I have some of them, and I'm gonna go to sleep. And we will see you for tomorrow. Bye bye, y'all. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of the trip. So yes, today is going to be more shrine exploration, and we're actually going to a few museums as well. So yeah, lots of photos, lots of, maybe not as much videos, but hopefully lots of photos. Slowly getting the gang together, so I'm going to head off, and yeah, see you soon. Bye-bye now. So yeah, as I said, we started off this day with a bit more shrine exploration. I think we went to like 1 or 2. And then after that, we met up with everybody else at an art museum, which had some really, really cool stuff in it. Everything was absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, it was so cool. There was like one section that was dedicated mostly sort of like the more traditional style of art, with sort of like the calligraphy artworks and just like that sort of like that black brushstroke style, which commonly gets associated with Japan. And then there was another one which was like shadow box arts, which is like the sort of 3D artworks. It was all super cool. It was so awesome. It's such a good start to a day. It's just stuff like that. It's a nice slow thing to get you on, yeah? So yeah, here's the first piece of artwork from the art museum, and yeah, so from here on out it's all the cool art pieces that we found and the more notable ones that I thought I would take a photo of and all that. We're at the zoo today. We're at the zoo. And I found flamingos. You may not be able to see them, but there are flamingos in there. It's zoo time. So yes, as I said, it was in fact zoo time. So yes, this was the Ueno Zoo. And you've probably seen a few videos from this zoo on the internet. I mean, I've seen a few since being back. That could have just been, you know, I was there and now I'm getting recommendations. But yes, it was so cool. It had so many animals that I really wanted to see. Like that I've never seen before, and I've got a few like highlights that I'll show off at some point. But yeah, it was such a cool experience to not only just because it's the first time I've been to a zoo in ages. Just mainly because there's like one sort of near me, and it's like almost 4 hours away, and it's really expensive. Actually, not quite 4 hours away, probably closer to 2, but 2 or 3. But yeah, so like it had been such a long time since I've been to a zoo, and B, there were animals there that I had an interest in and thought were cool for so long that I'd never seen in person before, and I was finally able to see them. It was such a cool experience, and I probably would go back if I were to like go back to Tokyo. I probably definitely like with new people. I wouldn't want to just go there by myself, but yeah, it was super cool. We have located penguins. Observed penguins. Look at the little guy. Hello. Hello, friends. Hello, Pingus. I have found a little hippo. And then a little big hippo. Little hippo. Big hippo. Big hippo, little hippo. Little hippo, big hippo. Hippo time. We have found Rhino. He big. He big. Yeah, we found a bigger rhino. It's a big one. Found giraffe. Hello. You can't even see his noggin. There's his noggin. Hey, big guy. I have located monkey. The monkey has been located. It's monkey time. Hello, big guy. What you doing? What you up to, buddy? You just observing us? As we are observing you? Secretary bird! Secretary birds, they're so cool! So cool, and they're so pretty! Funky looking things, really. Indeed. So, after this, we sort of moved along. We found another little shopping street. I've only unfortunately got like the one photo of it, which I'll throw up as part of this little thing. But then, after that, we moved along and went to an udon place. I think it was the first time I've had like proper udon. And it was really good. We were stuck in a wait for a while though, which is the only unfortunate part. But the wait was like well worth it. So you'll notice in like all of the photos that I have, I finished my food before everyone else because it's just like I could not wait for everybody else's food to come out. Mine came out first. I needed my fucking food. I was so hungry. But yes, so this was pretty much it for this day, and yeah, that is day 3 done and dusted. There you go. So, this day was one of the free days, or we didn't really have anything planned as a group. So, I was kind of struggling with my ADHD, so I just decided to do some little things here and there. I actually ended up finding a Shake Shack in Tokyo, which I thought was very cool. And I then went out to the specific name of the station that I went to is escaping me, but I went to this like candy Like, there's a chain of stores that specialize in just selling a bunch of Japanese candy. So I went there, got some stuff to bring home with me for family members, and I also got some cool things from there as well, which I'll show you here. So for those of you that are aware of Japanese meme products on the internet, I found a Sakura gummy from the Long Man ads. And I want to see if I can do the... Hold on. I'm going to try to, like, get this in frame so I can get the edit. Just like the...
Long man.
It wasn't as good. I did it. Long man. It's just like the... I have way too much fun. I'm having too much fun over here. Anyway, bye everybody. Hello everyone. So, I was out at a candy store today, and I found this really cool little candy kit where you mix together these things in a bowl, and if you can get the straw to stay in the... There we go. So you add these powders, so I can show you here in a sec. So I've got this blue powder, I put that there. And then I take this pink powder, and I put it right next to it, in this little like pre-mixed juice thing. And you take your straw, and you pull it up through the powder. Oh damn, when it forms like a little gummy. You then, like, you dip into this other gummy stuff and you eat it. This is super cool. I love science food. It's so awesome. Ah, no, I dropped my gummy. Oh no. I appear to have lost my gummy. So, yeah, it's super cool. I'm really a fan of this. So, after all of this sort of solo stuff, we did actually do some stuff together today, which was our trip out to Shinjuku. So, Shinjuku is Tokyo's sort of like, you know, club, red light district kind of thing. Probably most well known as the location of the Yakuza games, as well as where the giant Godzilla head is. So yeah, what I've got sort of going on here are some of the photos that we took from there. Unfortunately, I don't have any videos from this evening, but we did go out yet again and get yakitori, and we're just sort of like wandering around Shinjuku drinking. Because in Shinjuku in particular, it is actually socially and legally acceptable to just sort of like walk around the street with booze in your hand. It's just sort of a thing that gets done there. So that was a very fun night. Some of them ended up going out to a club at the end of the evening, but I decided not to because I don't really do well with clubs. I find them overwhelming, and I probably would have not had a great time. So me and a few other people decided to go home, and yeah, it was just a really fun evening. So, just to clarify any confusion as we get into this one, so on the 5th day it was another free day, and that day I even had less stuff going on. Literally all I did that day was go and get some ramen. That was all that got done. So this day, which you are seeing some of the photos for in the background as we get into this, we took a trip out to Mount Hakone, or just like Hakone in general. So we did a whole day trip to Hakone, which had so much cool stuff, and I cannot wait to get into some of this. So these are sort of the photos and stuff of our travel to there. And then, you know, we then moved on to starting to do some of the activities that have been planned by the lovely Emily for the trip. And yeah, so we'll get straight into some of that. So the first thing we ended up doing is going to an outdoor art museum. So the only functional difference between, for example, this museum and the earlier art museum we went to is this one was more sculpture focused and had some cool sort of exhibits that were
a bit more, I guess, symbolic rather than literal, I guess is the best way I can put it. Like, there was a lot of, like, modern art style stuff there. But it was all outside on this, like, basically foot of these snow-capped mountains. And, so we ended up traveling around there, and they actually also had a couple unique things to this place. One of them being a Picasso museum that has some pieces that are, like, only there. Like, only at this one museum. As well as after that museum, there was a cool little, like, mini onsen footbath thing, which was very, very nice in the cold weather. Like, you'd think that taking your shoes off and sticking them in water would make things worse, but no, like, the moment you stick them in, it's like, oh, everything felt so amazing. So this was the first thing we did on the trip, and while it was awesome, the true cool stuff has yet to come. And we'll get into that here in just 1 minute. So, after the art museum was Mount Hakone itself. So, bit of a background to Mount Hakone. It is a currently active volcano. Not that it's like gushing out magma or anything like that, but there are like sulfur vents that are actively sort of spewing out sulfur and various other gases into the atmosphere. So what we did is we actually ended up catching a cable car up to the top of this sort of like cliff-ish area, and then we got on one of those rope cars, so sort of like the hanging sort of ball-shaped sort of like a Ferris wheel carriage, but like on a rail, like, you know what I'm talking about. You'll probably see it in some of the photos or videos that I'm posting here. So for those of you that don't know, I have a massive fear of falling in particular. So I don't necessarily classify what I have as a fear of heights, because I can be in a high place and be fine. It's just whenever I am sort of suspended or otherwise sort of like not with secure grounded footing underneath me over a large drop, I get super, super anxious. And so the ride up there was a bit of an experience, because one of my friends, Andre, kept getting up to take photos and he kept rocking the cart, and I was about ready to kill him. And so, but it was so worth it, because when we got up there was snow everywhere, and being at the top of a mountain, and just because for some people it was their first time seeing snow. I grew up in Colorado, so I saw a lot of snow in my youth. For some people that was their first time seeing snow, and it was really cool, because there's a thing that goes on this volcano where they'll take eggs and they will cook them in these sulfur vents. And that'll actually, like, boil the egg, effectively. It'll cook it all the way through. And this process, because of the fact that it's done in a sulfur vent, actually blackens the outer shell of the egg, and that's where you get, like, Hakone black eggs from. So this leg of the journey was absolutely awesome, and I could not be just more in awe of what I was looking at than this.
Made it back to Snowland.
It's a lot harder than. We're gonna slowly lose the snow as we come down.
Say hi, Braden.
Hi, Braden.
Hi, Brayden.
We got two idiots. Oh, that's right.
I say one. You want to ask them?
Say hi, Caleb.
Afternoon.
So yeah, that bus trip was our sort of heading back down from the mountain thing. And so on our way back, we actually planned to do one final thing for the day, which was taking a old ship that was repurposed into sort of like a cable ferry, which was so absolutely awesome. I ended up getting a cool time lapse of that I'll play for you guys in the background once we're done with these photos. But yeah, it was so cool. It's such an awesome way to end off the day. So cool. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this one. So this is basically going to be part 1 of a 3-part vlog series for this, for my trip that I took to Japan. And so there might be a bit of a gap after this video for future long-form content, just in general, just because I've sort of run out of time to get more stuff recorded. So for just for context, it's currently a Saturday for me, and I leave for my sister's wedding for about a week on Monday. So if I can get something recorded tomorrow, cool. But yeah, so there might be a bit of a gap after this one. Hopefully not. But in any case, I hope you all enjoyed this one. As I said, it's going to be basically part 1 of probably a 2 or 3 part series. And you should be able to see the rest of the videos coming out shortly after this. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you guys liked the sort of face reveal thing I did. And yeah. There should hopefully be more of my face showing up and things once I get time to get everything set up. So, yeah, we'll see you next time. And for now, bye-bye, y'all.